Hello there, dear people. Lord Fishy back again. And today we're going to start making a series that are going to be items I'm going to be using in a future project. Hopefully they're going to work out. I've never made this stuff before. I have no practice. Before we get started, let's go ahead and scale if you need to. I'm using Unreal. If you're not, you probably don't need to. I don't really know. I only use Unreal, so follow along if you need to, and don't if you don't. And I'm just going to change a few of the scale settings. For everything is easier for importing, basically. When we're local up here, should be it. Unless I missed something, I don't think I messed that up. No. Alright, so first off, we're going to make this a little skinnier, and maybe a little taller. Slightly less, maybe about there. Going to go in edit mode. And again, this is a little bit of an experiment. I think we gotta lean it kind of towards one end like this. I would believe. Then we'll grab this line. I'm gonna shrink them a little bit. And we might have to play around with it, move it around a little bit to make the shape work, but we'll hope that's kind of close anyways to what we're going for. And again, it's guitar. So I've already added some bevels. So you're probably going to want to add 6 to the segments here. That's what I have. Something like that. Again, we might have to move the shape around a little bit. Kind of looks like... maybe we'll go back. And we'll just take this face. And we're just going to shrink it a little bit like that. Let's take this one and grow it a little bit further. Much more different, maybe. And I don't know this is the answer, but this is how you find out how to make things. Is I never follow any instructions. I just kind of make up a way and figure it out. Hopefully this is a little bit more right. I think it is. We may want to go a little bigger on this one too, I think. Oops. Try that again. Hard to just get the right perfect shape, but I'll get it. I think we're something like that. I think so. I'm not sure, but I think so. Alright, so we're just going to move on. If you want to adjust it a little bit, if you think mine is off, just do what you need to do. Right away, I'm going to make a... I got out of edit mode with tab, by the way. I'm going to make a cylinder, and we'll go down here, find the right rotation. That's wrong. Something like that. And we're going to do this, and we're going to shrink it down. I don't know exactly where the hole is. I feel like it's about here. I could be mistaken. And if you know better, or if you think I'm making it slightly the wrong shape, just use my example to follow along and make it a little bit more the way you want it. I accept that I may not be making it perfectly the way you want, so feel free to change it in any way you think is going to be a little better for you. So it looks like that, but we might want to start with this. We'll Shift D that, and we'll hit S and just shrink it down a little bit. And as you can see, we could make the entire guitar hollow at this point by grabbing the second one. Objective, bool, difference. Okay? Now there's a hole all the way through in the shape of the guitar that just gives us a little edge. Probably was hollow in the inside anyways, but just to make sure, right? As you can see, it looks pretty much like a real guitar in there. I'm not sure on the shape that I made. It might be a little bit off, but... Alright, we'll start on our next piece, which is going to be the stock, or I don't know what you would call it for a guitar. The arm. The guitar string arm. I clearly don't know, but I'm no guitar expert by any means. I don't play it. I think they're cool sometimes, depending who's playing it. Alright, let's work on this. So it's going to be more like that, I'd imagine. I'm trying to think. Would it be the back that's round and the front that's flat? I think so. Let's do edges. We'll grab that and that. We'll Control B them. And we'll try to meet up near the middle, and we'll make it that big of an edge. Okay, so it looks like the back of one, I think. The back of a handle. Could be mistaken, but I don't think I am. So I'm going to Shift D this, and we're going to try to use this for the last shape over here, but we might not be able to use it. It might be just too different from what we need. So we need to make a little grip handle down here. Something like this. But the little edges need to be tapered a little more, I think. Something like that anyways. This may need to be a little bit shorter. This may need to be a little bit farther in. I think we're gonna have to make a new piece for it though. Let's delete this and try a new one. Shift A. I just think we can make it look a little bit better and a little bit more like a guitar. And if it's gonna be an item in your game, you're gonna want it to look at least half decent. So let's try it this way and see what we get. And we're just gonna roughly match it up. It could be a little bit bigger, that'd be fine. So maybe we'll just go like this a little bit. And maybe like that a little bit. Something like that anyways. And then we'll work on the shape a little bit. So we're gonna do these edges. Don't know about that one. I think like that. Let's see what we get. I think that's the exact shape I was looking for. I could be mistaken, something could be slightly off, but that's pretty much what I was after. Just looks like a more of the right shape of the piece that we need, I think. Just thinking for a second, and I don't know if I guess I could do, yeah. I feel like we're in the wrong shader here, but it's probably not. No, it's not. Okay, so let's do a Shift A again, and let's find a shape that we're gonna use for, we're gonna make a little pin down peg basically that's gonna hold a string. So this is how I'm thinking it in my head. Hopefully it works. Something like this. And we Control B those like that. Okay, and then we get out of that with Tab. We can, oops. Yeah, out of that with Tab, and then we can, just a second, Shift D. That's the one. Then S it. Like that. And then we stretch it like this. Okay. We'll minus this shape from that shape. Object, bool, difference. Okay. And then we're going to hit S and shrink it way down. We may have to give this a little bit of color just to be able to see it a bit better. I'm just having a little bit of issues. Maybe I should be wearing my glasses, but just thinking this might make things a little bit easier. Then I'm going to have to color everything individually too. Let's just do that for now. New. Took a while. I'm going to have to do something about my computer. I think I need to format it. It's just too many things I put on it and then taken off of it. But I have so much game stuff. It's going to be hard to do that. So obviously that's a little big. So we will move it towards here. Towards here. Yeah, somewhere in here. I'm probably going to make it a little bit smaller, obviously, so just shrink it to the appropriate size. What it's going to be is going to be a container for your, not a container, but like a string mount, so you can stretch your strings across. And what we'll do is we'll try to make it the right size as best as we can, something like that probably. And then we'll stretch them all across together or something like that, all the strings. I'm just going to color a few more things just to make this a little bit easier. Just where we can see what we're freaking doing a little bit here. Alright. So, there's that. That looks pretty good, I think. Something like that. Now we'll Shift A. And we will make a cylinder. And we will go to the axis and we will turn it on its side. And then we will hit S and we will shrink it way down. And then we're going to stretch it way out like that. And we're going to shrink it way down. And we're going to stretch it way out. And then we're going to shrink it way down. And then we'll see where we're at. Okay, so let's try to move it up to this one. This holder that we're going to be using for it. And it looks like it's just a little big. Like that, probably. Looks pretty good to me. And now we need to just figure out our size. And we'll have to figure out our mount on the other end. I might have to look at a guitar. I don't really know, to be honest, how they would mount. Oh, I think I know, actually. A little peg hole comes up or something, right? A thing holds them in place, and then like a little peg holes come up. But maybe we will just get this end put together. This might have to be a two-parter. This is actually a little more complicated than I thought it was going to be. So we'll move that into place. Alright. Need to do, I think that's about the right length, is Shift A. And then we're going to make a cube. And then we are going to go into edit mode and Control B, the whole thing. Just try to get it as even as possible. Okay. And then we're going to move it out until the middle is about there, and we're going to hit S and shrink it way down. I should not have done it in that mode. Let's go back. We're going to get it out of edit mode before we shrink it, because it changes the axis, and it just makes it a little harder to move into the right place, for me anyways. I'm sure we could recenter the axis, but I just think this is easier. And sorry if you disagree, but that's the way she goes, bud. Alright, something like this. So what it's going to be is when you slip the cable through on the one end, it's going to hit this here and stop it from coming all the way through. I might be a little off on how this looks or whatever, but I'm again not a guitar expert. Just kind of winging it, so that's fine, I'm sure. Maybe we'll move it out a bit more if it makes a bit more sense. Hit S a little bit more. I think that's going to hit and stop it, so really hard to see. Which one's up and down? There we go, that'll perfectly center it. Is that one perfectly centered? Yeah. So we'll connect those two together. And we'll move this slightly more in place where it looks more natural. And then we will grab this piece and connect it to this, I believe, and hopefully I'm not making a mistake. And it colored it for us when we did. I think I might actually bend down here, but maybe we'll just run them down there. I don't really think it means that much to fix that part up anymore. So what I would do is now we would Shift D and move this one up a little bit. Something like that. Right? Shift D, move this one up a little bit. And I believe we're making a 6-string guitar, so we'll just spread those evenly as we can. And when we're ready, we will Shift D this one. And which one was it on? I'm just going to right click to cancel and do a minus in front of this. And then do the same with the top. Shift D, minus in front of the bottom one. Alright, we have 6 strings lined up perfectly. So I really wouldn't worry about actually lining the strings up with the holders at the end here. If you want to, I'm sure we could just do some kind of grip something like that, but really don't think it's going to mean that much. Let's take this and move them up actually like that though, because I think that makes a little more sense. And we'll quickly figure out something to grip these at the end here. Okay, so let's do, oops, I'm just going to delete that. Let's do Shift A, and I'm going to make a cylinder. Okay, and let's flip our cylinder. And if I seem like I don't know what I'm doing, I don't. I'm literally making it up on the spot, so hopefully it's cool in the end. You guys like it, but try to keep that in mind. I'm just kind of winging it. Something like this. But I believe the best art comes from winging it, to be honest. Oops. The best styles come from it. New innovations, new designs. So that's why I do it this way. So what I would probably do, I think what would happen is the string would go through here. So if you want, what we can do is Shift E this one, right? And then we're going to hit S just, sorry, a little bit to make it bigger, okay? And then we're going to grab that, we're going to go, ooh, maybe wait for it actually, because we don't know that's in place or the right size yet. So we'll get this into place, something like that. A little more, a little more. Maybe we'll shrink it just slightly for we're not hitting each other on the sides. Move it back in. And again, it's a little big. Move back in. Something like that. Maybe a little closer like that. And I think that's right. But let's just stretch it out just a hair. And then we'll go the other way with it, just a hair. And that's what we want, is just that end sticking out there. Then we'll take this, shoot, we'll take this, we'll take that, and then we will object bool difference. So what we've done essentially is we've put a slightly bigger hole into this piece here. Okay? So now that we've done that, we can go ahead and attach a piece that we're going to need for the back. So what I'm going to do, Shift D, oops, no, I didn't want to do that, so we're going to delete that. And I'm going to go Shift A, we're going to make a cube. And we'll move our cube down here. And I'm not exactly sure what we're making, but a piece to kind of twist on the end of it. So I have like a little bit of ears or something. Okay, something like this. We'll swing this out like that. We'll go ahead and edit mode. We'll hit Control R. We'll put a piece in the middle. Perfect. And we'll click this piece and this piece, and then we'll go here. Actually, let's just click just the one. We'll go to arrow, and we'll drag it in like that. Okay. And now we might get an idea of what I'm trying to make. We'll see if it'll work out though. So click that, shift left click that, shift left click, shift left click, Control B. Something like this, right? We're going to have to work with the size a little bit and make it more realistic for what we want. So I think more that way, a little less this way, but let's move it closer. Something like this. And what will happen is as you twist this, it'll twist the guitar string and make it tighter until your guitar strings are tight, and you can tune your guitar that way. And that's how you tune your guitar. So it's pretty realistic. I think it's pretty good. Might not be perfect, but I think it's pretty good considering. So I'd go ahead and attach those two and Control J to do that. Right? And then we will Shift D. And then we will move this one up. And we'll have that little tiny hole to line up to make sure we're in place. Shift D. And then for the bottom ones, we can be a little bit lazier. And we'll just hit Shift D, but we'll use this and add a minus, just like we did on the other one. We'll hit this one, Shift D, And it's just a little bit of a way to be lazier, but still works. It's exact. They're all symmetrical. Perfect. So, the only thing I could say is we should have probably colored them first, but we will attach them to the guitar and it'll be fine. 3, 4, 5. Attach it to this. Control J. Then we'll attach this to this with Control J. And then we'll attach that to this with Control J. So now we got our colors. We can do, let's do brass on these type color. So L, well, we got to be in edit mode, sorry about that. Tab to get in edit mode. So we'll click off everything. L, 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 L. Okay, these pieces are separated. L, 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 L. And we will pick out our new color by going down to here. We are in there. Okay, new. And then we'll just make like a brassy type yellow. Maybe, something like that. Maybe we'll take this upper one that we already made, and we're just going to adjust it to make it a little darker for that other color stands out a bit more. Okay, something like this. And if we want to change some of the colors of the things, it'll be easy enough. We'll show you how to in just 1 second. Make sure you're in tab to be in edit mode. Click off everything, and we're going to go out. Oops. Make sure you grab the right pieces. Click off everything. Poopy. Are those guitar strings attached? No, they're not. That's why. So we're going to attach them to everything. Control J. Perfect. Now we're going to go into edit mode. Click off everything and go L, 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 L. And then we're going to make them our second color to go with the other ones. So we have like a brass fitting on either end. So we're going to go back in edit mode. Click off everything. And then we're going to go L over top of here and L over top of here. We're going to make this a new color as well, just to make it a little more interesting. Make it free. You can customize it more in game if you choose to. You don't have to, but maybe you want it black. Maybe you want it a slightly different color, but whatever you're kind of looking for. Maybe we'll do this, and then we'll do a red. Anything. And this is just assigning it a slot anyway, so you can put more colors in after. But just for you know how to do it, and it's easy enough. Maybe you want to do grab faces around here. Maybe you want to make these all a different color as well. So that's easy enough to do. And we just push new. And we add a new color to it. Maybe this is blue this time, or there we go. And again, you're just adding a slot for you can add more colors and make it more customizable. Now, if you got a better place to place these, go ahead and do it. Maybe I did this not the best way, but I'm not exactly sure how it works, and I don't want to go look. And I think that's the right idea anyway. So, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll be back with some more Blender stuff. I'm going to do some Blender stuff today for a future project, and then I will get back to putting some more videos out on just gaming and having fun. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.